iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to get to my San Francisco Giant preview in just a minute. But as I always do, if I go to a spring training game, I'll give you some news and notes that I saw. And I was at the Boston Red Sox Minnesota Twins spring training game yesterday. So here's just some quick hits for you. First of all, Drew Pomeranz was a train wreck. And when he left the game with tricep tightness, that was no surprise. He looked terrible. Terrible. He could barely get out of the first inning. And I think he's in jeopardy of missing some time this year. There would be no way I would roster Drew Pomeranz. I think it was a terrible, terrible trade the Red Sox made to get him. They traded Anderson Espinoza with arguably like a young Pedro Martinez to get Pomeranz. I felt that was a very desperate move by an organization that didn't need to be desperate. I mean, Drew Pomeranz was at best a good pitcher, maybe at even better, at good plus, but this was not a very good to great pitcher, and I think they gave up a lot to get him. I was very unimpressed with him. If you remember, Rusney Castillo got like $70 million or something like that, $72 million over 6 years or something ridiculous to play for the Red Sox. He is so bad right now. I can't think of a guy who has less value in my life. This guy was batting 8th in spring training in a game where a bunch of regulars weren't even playing. That just tells you how little the Red Sox think of this guy. He was terrible. So, I don't know if anybody even think, maybe take a chance on this guy. No, he is dog poop. Hanley Ramirez jacked a home run out. That ball looks like it was still flying. He looked terrific. Hanley's a very interesting player this year because he's going to be the part-time first baseman and part-time DH. I've got to think that this is going to help him stay healthy because he's not going to be in the field for more than 300 at-bats, and he'll get another 300 at-bats in DH. So we should be able to see a 600 at-bat season from him. We should. I mean, look, nothing is guaranteed with Hanley Ramirez, but it seems like that's more likely than not. Andrew Benintendi hit second in that lineup. He is a good young hitter. I like what I saw from him yesterday. Mitch Moreland looked very good. Mitch Moreland is one of my favorite players in a DFS situation. He's very good against righties, awful against lefties, but very good against righties. So I always recommend taking a look at him there in DFS. In seasonal, I mean, he's more of a corner guy. I don't know if he's a big home run guy, but he's certainly a solid player, and I think the Red Sox are going to be pretty happy that they have him. Craig Kimbrell looked very good. He was popping 97 there, so in that ball, it looked effortless for him, so I think he's exactly where he needs to be right now, and I'm very happy with Kimbrell, and he's certainly somebody that if I'm looking to get a closer, he's high on my list. For the Twins, Robbie Grossman got injured. He's more of a fourth outfielder. Danny Santana played okay. He's going to be a backup. Joe Mauer just looks terrible. I mean, really, just terrible. And I just don't know why anybody would draft him in fantasy anymore. So you shouldn't either. I mean, obviously the Twins rested a lot of their better players, and I'm sure that I didn't see Sano, I didn't see Buxton, I didn't see Dozier. I was very disappointed in that. But the guys I saw, there was nobody out there for the Twins that impressed me at all. Nobody, not one player. So maybe Chris Jimenez. But I mean, that's a backup catcher. So if I'm impressed by the backup catcher, that tells you the type of crap that was out there. And, spring training is a wonderful time of year. It really is. It's nice weather. The people are friendly. You're happy to see baseball. But, to see Drew Stubbs and Danny Santana and Joe Mauer and Robbie Grossman. This is the lineup that I saw for the Twins. this is just not a very good team. I mean, really, just not a very good team. And the pitchers were disgusting. So I don't know. If I'm a Twins fan, I need to see a lot more. And I got to hope that my young starters can really, Buxton and Sano, and can really get it going on. Because if not, this could be an extremely long season for them. But for the Red Sox, look, like I said, Hanley and Moreland, Kimbrel, this is a team that, look, right now, if they lose Pomeranz, the Lieutenant Kendrick, from A Few Good Men, Kyle Kendrick will be out there, and that's not a good thing. So he becomes their fifth starter. I think the Red Sox, look, they were 7 deep. Now they're 5 deep. They're wafer thin now, and that's not a good sign. So let's take a look right now at our San Francisco Giants podcast preview. We'll go through the team. Let's start out with the catcher, Buster Posey. Buster Posey is absolutely the number 1 catcher in fantasy baseball. That being said, I cannot imagine how Buster Posey will end up on any of my teams. So I pretty much know that now going into a draft. And here's why I know that. Buster Posey's a 3rd round pick, and it goes for $20 in most auctions. I'm not going to take a catcher in my 3rd round. Not with a guy with the numbers of Buster Posey. In the 3rd round, I'm looking for a guy who can hit 30 home runs and knock in 100 RBIs. Not a guy that's going to hit 15 home runs and 80. I want a guy who might get me 100 runs scored, not 82. So I like Buster Posey. I do, and I think he is the best catcher available. But that said, is he giving me numbers that are 3rd round numbers? I don't believe so. And that's the problem. I don't believe he gives me those numbers, but people will take him because the differentiation that he gives you between the 10th catcher, they go, look at that. He hits 14 home runs. He's better. I'm not going to lie. He's better, but he's not better than a good outfielder. He's not better than Johnny Cueto is, because Johnny Cueto is going to make more of an impact on my team. So, yes, I like Posey, but I'm not taking him. Brandon Belt is another guy who I've been high on for years, and I think I just have to stop it. I just have to stop my man crush on Brandon Belt, because he's just never going to be what I think he should be. I want him to be a 25 home run, 20 steal guy, and he's not that guy. I want him to be what Will Myers was last year. He's not that guy. Now, way back when, I thought he was that guy. I thought there was some power. I thought there was speed, but he's a 15 to 20 home run guy who gets me 5 stolen bases. That's a corner infielder. It's not my starting first baseman on a fantasy roster. So I have to adjust my expectations. I don't hate Brandon Belt, but he's not my starting first baseman. He could be my starting corner, but that's it. All right, at second base, don't panic if you don't find a guy, because you might just end up with Joe Panic. Joe Panic was beaten in the head last year, dealt with concussions. But he can hit. He can hit. Okay? Don't kid yourself. This is a guy who can hit. In 2015, he hit .312. And in 2016, he had 10 home runs. If he could put those two things together this year and stay healthy, I think he could give us a good season. He's only 26 years old. So Panic is that ideal. I didn't go for second baseman early. I got $1 at the end. I throw it on Joe Panic. I'm good with that. I really am. I might go up to $2 if in a mixed league. If I'm in a mono league, an NL only league, I've certainly been more on Panic. I think he's sneaky value. I do. He's sneaky value. At shortstop, Brandon Crawford showed a lot of pop a couple of years ago. But I'm not sure he's as good as he showed hitting 21 home runs. But I watched this guy play for Team USA. He's a pretty big dude. You know how sometimes shortstops are short, wiry, spindly guys? Brandon Crawford's not. He's built solidly. I just don't know how I feel about him. I mean, he does get me RBIs, but the average isn't great. Not a lot of speed, not a lot of runs scored. Hits about 6th in that lineup. He's just not my guy. I'm not telling you not to get him, but I want you to temper your expectations. This is not a 20-80 guy. I don't think he really is. I think he's 15 to 18, 60, which is okay, but it's not special. And he goes for like $14, $10, $14. He's not that good. Go get yourself Didi Gregorius for like 2, 3. Same player. Didi will be even better. I'm not often wrong, or I don't often misjudge talent, but Eduardo Nunez, I didn't see that coming. Now, as a Yankee fan, I liked what Nunez did. I mean, we always saw a guy who never had enough at-bats, and 300 at-bats, he'd have steals, he could hit, the average wasn't bad, and then all of a sudden, this dude just starts to play, he goes to Minnesota, he's okay, it's okay, and then he goes in last year and he's great. I mean, 16 home runs and 40 stolen bases. So we finally saw what he's capable of, right, when he plays every day. And he can hit lefties for sure. I think there's a spot for him. So what I like to do with a player like Nunez, who was out of his mind last year, is I like to immediately look at a 25% regression. Okay? And I do that for this reason. 16 home runs, I'll give him 12. 40 stolen bases, I give him 30. Now, I just knocked his number 25% off. You have a 25% off sale on Eduardo Nunez. Do you still like him? I think you do. 12 home runs and 30 stolen bases. You'd put this guy on your team. So I'm saying to you, we don't need last year's numbers to get the most out of Nunez. He's still a pretty good player, even with that 25% regression. Okay? The outfield is a trouble spot for the Giants. I'm not a big Denard Span guy. I guess in real life he's a good player. He's a good defensive player, but he's getting older. I mean, this is a speed guy who lost his speed. When Denard Span hits 11 home runs and steals 12 bases, it tells me that things are going in the wrong direction. I want Denard Span to hit 5 home runs and steal 30 stolen bases, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I guess in an NL-only league, I'll be okay for $1 with him, but in a mixed league, he's not even on my radar. Not even on my radar. Jared Parker is slightly on my radar. This is a guy who's really never had the opportunity. He's been just a minor leaguer forever. But I think there's pop in his bat. So if he is the starting left fielder for the Giants, I think he could hit 260 with 20 home runs. The problem is this. He doesn't really hit lefties well. There's a guy named Mac Williamson who does, and Kelby Tomlinson does, and Mike Morse does. Those 3 guys really hit lefties well. So Jared Parker is going to have a window of like 10 days. If he doesn't hit a lefty in 10 days, he's a platoon guy. That's just not where I want to be risking. $1. This Parker's $1. Nothing special. In right field, there's Hunter Pence. And, I want to give you these numbers from 2008 to 2014. 2583, 2572, 2591, 2297, 24104, 2799, 2074. That was Hunter Pence. And then he's been injured the last couple of years. He hasn't been right. But could he get back to 20 home runs and 80 RBIs? I think so. And what I love about Hunter Pence this year is he's not going to cost very much. He's not going to cost very much at all because people are going to look at his last 2 years and say, this guy sucks. I look at his last 2 years and say, I think we can get a bounce back. Now, I don't think a big bounce back, but I don't think 2080 is out of the question. I think 2080 is certainly a possibility. And if he can do that, then I think he's going to be well worth, the discount that you're going to get on draft day. I think you're going to get a discount on him. I really do. I think you're going to get a discount on him because people are going to look at the last 2 years and say, you know what? I really want no part of that. All right, let's get to the pitching staff here. The closer's Mark Melancon. They brought him over with the free agent signing. Great signing. They had Romo and Casilla and this guy and that guy. Sometimes you just need one dude, right? Sometimes you need one guy. Teams are better with one guy. I don't like committees at closer. I like one guy. I like committees in the bullpen, but I don't like committees at closer. So Mark Melancon is the closer. Okay? The bullpen, now Melancon's a very good closer, 40 saves guy. Just lock him in. I like him. The bullpen is Hunter Strickland, Derek Law, Will Smith. I like Strickland. I thought he could have been a closer, but just never worked out that way. but I do like him and, solid pitcher. But what we really like is the starting rotation. 4 out of these 5 guys are guys you really want. So, first of all, Madison Bumgarner. If you lose out on the Clayton Kershaw sweepstakes, Madison Bumgarner is a really good consolation prize. Now, I can just say this. I have minor trepidation with Bumgarner because he is thrown for a lot of innings. But he's a horse. He just keeps on doing it. 204, 208, 201, 217, 218, 226, and he just gets better and better and better. So I'm going to not worry about it, and I'm not going to worry about the innings, and I'm going to say this guy is absolutely the real deal. Future Hall of Famer if he keeps on going for another 5 years. Stupendous pitcher. Get him. What I like about Bumgarner is that Clayton Kershaw is going to go for $40-some-odd, and Madison Bumgarner is going to go for a $10 discount. Is Kershaw $10 better? I'm not sure. He's better, but I don't know if he's $10 better. But I do like Bumgarner a lot. Johnny Cueto, this tells you how long I've been doing fantasy baseball. I remember the days where Johnny Cueto was a terrible second-half pitcher. And we're like, Cueto's a great first-half pitcher, but the second half, can he put it together? Oh, my God, can he put it together? Guy's been lights out since 2011. He's had one borderline bad season, and even that wasn't a bad season when he got traded from Kansas City to Cincinnati. He didn't even want to be in Kansas City in the first place. This is a really good pitcher. So if you lose out on Madison Bumgarner and you lose out on Kershaw and you need the next consolation prize, I think Johnny Cueto is your kind of guy. Very good. Very good player. Matt Moore is the third starter. Now, what I like about Matt Moore is there's some days that he's absolutely unhittable. And then there's some days that he cannot find home plate. But when a guy comes over from the American League to the National League, immediately it's better. Immediately it's better. And I think that he is going to have a very good year. I do. I think he's going to have a very good year. He's in the right age. He's on a good team with a bullpen, good park. I think Matt Moore, I would expect him to have a nice year this year. I do like Matt Moore to have a rebound year. And I don't even want to say rebound because I think he's always been good, but a solid year. Remember, he was dealing with injuries, but he's a good pitcher. Jeff Samardzija is their fourth guy. And when Samardzija is your fourth pitcher, that's a good team. This is a guy with an ERA about 3.5, whip about 1.2. He does exactly what you want him to do. 200 innings. He's a guy that you like and trust. And you know what? As a starting pitcher 4 or 5 in a league, Jeff Samardzija is absolutely a guy who can help you. Not going to hurt you at all. I like him. I like what he offers. I wouldn't overpay for him. But if I need a guy in that middle, late rounds of a draft, 12th round, Samardzija's there. He's safe. He's a good pitcher. $3, $4 in a draft? Sure, he's a good pitcher. Maybe a couple dollars more. Not bad at all. And then finally, Matt Cain. I want no part of Matt Cain. This is not the Matt Cain that we remember from a few years back. This is like bad Matt Cain. This is not good Matt Cain. This is bad Matt Cain. And I want no part of bad Matt Cain. Matt Cain was good. He's not anymore. So let's move on. You have 4 starters that you could choose from. Bumgarner, Cueto, Moore, Samardzija. Go there. Don't go to Matt Cain. If you go to Matt Cain, you're wearing Jordache jeans and a Benetton sweatshirt with a members-only jacket. Get over it. Get with the times. And if you're going to get with the times, get with Scout Fantasy. Enter the promo code ROTO, R-O-T-O, pay for 1 month, get 2 more for free. It's as simple as that. And if you do, you'll be part of the Scout Army. You'll get Sean Childs' Team Outlooks. You get my Podcast and Fantasy in a Nutshell series. You'll get Adam Ronis' Player Profiles. You get our rankings. And you get access to the member forums. You can ask us questions all you want. So let us be there for you. Let us help you win your fantasy baseball league. Take advantage of it now at scoutfantasy.com. It's exciting stuff. All right, guys, I'm wishing you a great day. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We'll talk to you soon. Be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!